our typical fashion here of trying things and doing our best to break them, we might be live and we might be recording. So Ken, you can tell me in the chat here if we are live in LinkedIn, and I can look myself here. So I'll look in LinkedIn and see if we are live. And Ken, you can see if we are live in Facebook as well. Let's see. I don't see the, yep, I do. There it is. So this thing is working. Okay. Ken, maybe you can give me the, yes, we're live in Facebook as well. And are we live in YouTube? Let's see. It says we're live. YouTube. It says we're live. There we are. All right, guys. Welcome back to our live sessions. We are using a brand new system, which you might say, hey, didn't you guys just use a brand new system? And you're right. You are right. Thank you for remembering. We were using Restream. We switched from Mighty Networks, then to Restream. And thank you to Ken on our team who got it all set up. We switched to Restream successfully. And now we have moved to doing our lives through Riverside, riverside.fm, because now Riverside is doing essentially what Restream did, and we are big fans of Riverside. They help us record all of our shows. So we decided to eliminate Restream. Thank you to Restream for your help. So we are going to kick back up our lives. We'll do them every 2 weeks. This one, we are trying it at 12:30 Mountain, which is 3:30 Eastern. I'm thinking we'll probably go back to the 11 o'clock Mountain sessions, which is 1 o'clock Eastern. And, this one, we did not publicize it too much, only because we're just doing some testing. And so far, so good in terms of pushing out live to Facebook, LinkedIn, hopefully YouTube, and we cannot do Instagram on this one. So we'll figure that part out. The point of the lives is to be able to get our group of mastermind members, which is 83, plus anybody else out there in our community, which is growing, of education entrepreneurs and CEOs who are focused on getting more leads for their education company and meeting an amazing group of people. If we have had a conversation one-to-one, then you probably know that I am a huge fan of our community. I always say, and this happens to have the benefit of being true, as one of my mentors used to say, that I would have at least one beer with every member of our community, and with some of them, I'd have multiple. So we've got a great community of educators. And speaking of people to have beer with, by the way, if you are on the West Coast, I will be speaking at and hosting a panel at a conference, the Innovative Educators Conference in Fullerton, California, on July 29th through the 31st. The conference is hosted by Ernie Delgado, who is a proud member of our current cohort in the EdSales Elevation Experience. And really excited to be out there. I'll be hosting a talk on LinkedIn and the value of LinkedIn, and how educators could actually leverage LinkedIn to help position themselves for their next job, and how LinkedIn is not just a place for your resume. And I'll be leading a panel on artificial intelligence in schools and how do we communicate the value and also some of the challenges that are there when it comes to implementing AI. And we have two phenomenal panel members for that. Elizabeth Grasswich. Elizabeth, I will pull up her information. Elizabeth is the Executive Director of Public Affairs and Communications for the Los Angeles County Office of Education. So she's huge. And then We also have Kim Weber. And Kim is the senior project manager. She does SaaS client management for the good people at Learning Innovation Catalyst Link. So I'm super excited to have them on our panel. And also joining us at that event will be my coach, my mentor, my co-host for um, Breaking the Grade, John Gamba. John's going to give a talk and do a panel as well. So we're very grateful to Ernie Delgado um, from Beyond K-12 for inviting us to his conference. So today, as we get these lives going, and again, we're doing some testing, we're also going to talk about LinkedIn and Catherine. And I'm going to look up Catherine's name, Ada Adaboyan. And the reason I read that is because people mispronounce my name all the time the wrong way. So I want to make sure I get Catherine's name right. So Catherine, who just had a birthday, is the founder and CEO of Go Pursue. And Go Pursue is an awesome company. And you'll get to learn more about them because, Ken, I'm wondering, can you put anywhere in the LinkedIn chat Catherine's information? Can you put um, her LinkedIn and her company, and even can we put the conference in there? So I don't know. Let's see. But I had a conversation with Catherine, really a case study, and we talked about the value of LinkedIn and really how to show up on LinkedIn. And as Catherine says it, she kind of started our program, the Ed Sales Elevation Experience, not being a true social media user, and certainly wasn't necessarily a believer in LinkedIn. And Catherine has become a believer in LinkedIn. Not only has it led to a bunch of amazing opportunities for her, which you can read about on our blog on joshchernichoff.com, it has also been able to elevate her and get some contracts for her and other speaking engagements just by posting consistently on LinkedIn. And Catherine has not only been posting consistently on LinkedIn, she's been having some fun with it. And she's been posting actual videos. And the reason I say it that way is because most people are just going to post kind of boring stuff and just write on LinkedIn. And what we're seeing is that when you do personal posts on LinkedIn, like Catherine is, then I think you get more engagement. So check out Catherine's videos because they're super fun. Like, if I remember correctly, one time we were doing some artwork together. I wasn't doing it. She was doing some artwork. Another time she was cleaning something and just talking. And it's really great. So I got an email from Catherine because, well, you're probably saying, where the heck is Catherine? Catherine should be on this live. And you're not wrong. But Catherine is too busy. Seriously, Catherine is too busy to be on this LinkedIn live because she's got too many people to talk to. So, in classic Catherine fashion, she did email me back and she said, and I quote, please share that LinkedIn continues, and this is continues in all caps, to pay dividends even 3 months after we filmed the show that we're referencing. She said, because the news, I've been posting consistently about our work. A chamber president nominated Go Pursue to be featured during PNC's Going to Bat for Small Businesses. And that thing is hosted at the National Stadium, close to my home in Capitol Hill, DC. Their logo will be on the Jumbotron, and she gets to walk the field during the pregame festivities. And that's going to be on August the 7th. And Catherine said, I am 100% convinced we got the nomination because PNC Bank asked the president to nominate one of her small business members, and we came to her mind because all of our LinkedIn activity, because of our post. She knows we're making positive social impact on the local community, which made us an easy pitch, way to go, Catherine, to the event sponsors. Catherine said, cheers to a real home run. Am I right? So way to go, Catherine. And it just shows, and if you take a look at Catherine if we had a chart in front of us, you would see that she wasn't necessarily posting much, but now she's posting probably 3 to 5 times a week. Now, you're saying, great for Catherine. I don't have that time. I don't have a system. How do I post all the time like Catherine? Well, you got it. It's a system. And that's going to be our next show in the next couple of weeks. We're going to be talking about our systems. But for now, let's stick to LinkedIn. And the reason Catherine has been so successful is that she has been using a system to post on LinkedIn. One of the parts of our business that is so important when we coach folks up is we do what we call a signature solution. And the signature solution is the 9-step transformation that you take your clients on to get them from confusion to clarity on a subject. For mine, I'll take folks from a steady flow of leads to a very heavy flow of leads. And here's the 9 steps we're going to follow. And I know it works. So Catherine has her signature solution, and everybody who goes through our program has that signature solution. And in Catherine's case, and in everybody else's case, that signature solution is just packed with stories. And so when you finish your signature solution, if it's 9 steps, you probably have 90 plus blog posts that you could write, 90 plus, even more, LinkedIn posts that you can write. And so you have created a system that will help you post consistently on LinkedIn. A lot of people know that I have what I call LinkedIn and Learning. I do it from 11 to 11:30 every single day. Right as I have finished up my morning meetings, I leap into LinkedIn and maybe I'll post, but actually I do more commenting, more learning, more lifting up of other people's posts. And so that is some consistency that I find in LinkedIn. And we post almost every single day on LinkedIn as well. Some of the biggest mistakes that people make when it comes to LinkedIn to get leads is that they spam a lot of people and just try and get more contacts. And then they reach out to those people and say, let's meet. And that's really not the way to go. We call that the Barney Stinson effect. Who's Barney Stinson? He is from the great show that I literally finished last night, How I Met Your Mother. And Barney would just walk up to people in bars and basically say, will you go home with me? And that is not the way you do it on LinkedIn. That is A, going to get you in LinkedIn jail, and B, not going to get you anywhere in terms of nurturing contacts. What you need to do on LinkedIn is you need to reach out to the people who you believe would be good contacts, not everybody. You need to follow them, comment on their posts, lift them up, and let things move along nicely, just as you would any relationship, and maybe try to provide value to them, even just by commenting or posting or reposting, and then see where the relationship goes. So we also need to talk about what it really takes to stand out online and book sales calls straight from your profile. The number one thing, and feel free to go take a look at my profile. It's not the greatest LinkedIn profile in the world, but we do have it set up as a sales funnel. So you need to take your LinkedIn profile from a resume looking profile to an actual sales funnel. And that means that your banner needs to look professional. Your headshot needs to look professional. Your headline needs to read well. Your headline has a formula that says, I help who using what method and have gotten what results. And then your about section, your experience section, those need to read like sales funnels. So I'm going to pause for 1 second because we're 15 minutes into this. And Ken, I know you can hear me. Can you let me know? You can even show your face to me, I think, without necessarily broadcasting it. Are we still good? You can just shake your head yes. 2 thumbs up. We are still good. We are still broadcasting. This is the thing that's weird to me about these lives. We need to invite people in, Ken. We need to have members of our mastermind or cohorts kind of come in So let's think about that, how we can at least bring in two people to sit side by side. But I realize for this one, we're just doing testing. So, you know, hey, Michael Cho, what's up? Nice. Um, so Ken and I are big fans of Basecamp. If you guys are looking for this is not a Basecamp commercial, but if you're looking for a good project management tool, look at Basecamp. But Ken, maybe we can talk on Monday about getting the right people for the Flex Academies live in 2 weeks. Maybe we should invite Michael Fay. I don't know if our airwaves could support Josh and Michael, but we'll see. But I think we should invite two people kind of into the studio because the next show is about Flex Academies, and that will be released today. So let's think about that and get people lined up and signed up. So cool. So what we were talking about is that what it really takes to stand out online in book sales call straight from your profile. And we do know that you cannot have a resume looking profile for LinkedIn. You need a sales funnel. Another thing that we need to talk about is how to bust through the imposter syndrome that's holding you back from showing up. In Catherine's case, I don't know if she was here. She could tell us if it was an imposter syndrome or just not a belief in LinkedIn. But I can tell you guys, it's not a dollars for dollars in the sense of when you post on LinkedIn and somebody's going to show up. But I believe that posting on LinkedIn, I believe that building out your credibility as a whole, what it does is it essentially helps you sell when you're not selling. And it gives you an opportunity to position yourself without, patting yourself on the back as a subject matter expert. And the reason you're a subject matter expert is because you're running your badass company. And if you've been through our program, you also know the pains and pleasures of your ideal client. So you can talk about those things on your LinkedIn profile, on or in your LinkedIn profile. You can talk about those things when you're going to conferences. You can talk about those things when you're writing to people. So in terms of the imposter syndrome that's holding you back from not showing up, A, it could be you don't believe, and B, it could be that you don't know, but you do know. And after you've been through our program, you definitely know that you are a subject matter expert. And I can speak to this myself, and Ken, can echo this as well. When we started this business, we got going and didn't really have a clue what we were doing. And this was my third one, but in this particular business, I didn't know what I was doing. Finally got my footing, and a lot of it came through following the same process that we teach to the companies in the Ed Sales Elevation Experience. And so we have gone from really dialing in our ideal client, building out my credibility as a subject matter expert, continuously listening to potential clients, because we are always listening, building out a signature solution, which is a 9-step process, beginning to target, working on messaging, automating, and scaling. That's the process that we teach to all of our clients, and we follow it for ourselves. Now, Ken, pretty cool. I just noticed, since we're just doing this live, that the orange, these are not orange glasses, by the way. These are apricot. These apricot glasses really do match this background. So, and I went all orange on you today. So I think these will have to be the glasses. These will be our live glasses, and they may only come out. And I can't say they're only going to come out during lives, but for the lives for sure, given we have that orange there. So that was random. And now we're going to talk about posting random content online. Posting random content online, this is a true statement, is an absolute time suck and will get you nowhere. Okay? Posting quality content that people want to read who are your ideal clients will get you very far. Now, will it get you very far in terms of likes? I don't know. The better the content, the more the likes, fine. Will it get you far in terms of comments? I don't know. The better the content, the more the comments. But what I can tell you what it will do, and I was talking to about I was talking to this about with a potential client today. So she's been reaching out to um, uh, school administrators and teachers on LinkedIn, and really go getter. Great. She's got a real bright future in sales in the education space, and she's been reaching out via LinkedIn and has not been able to engage one-to-one via messaging with the teachers and administrators on LinkedIn, but her engagement is up in terms of people following her and engaging with her post. And so the moral of that story is that while they might not be talking to her directly, they are listening to her one way or another on LinkedIn. And so that means that when the time is right, they will have heard about her and her program, and they will be more confident and comfortable to reach out and say, A, I want to work with you. And B, I already believe in you. So the sale is going to be easier. The sale will be easier. So Ken, my producer, this is so much fun. It feels like back in the TV days. Ken is telling me that Michael Bates, what's up, Mike? How is Kentucky? Hope you're having a nice bourbon. It is 3:00 there, I believe. Maybe 4. No, maybe 2. Whatever. Have a good bourbon. And Connor Chesson are watching. Connor, I'm not sure if I know you, but so super happy to have you. And let's reach out, man. Let's talk. Great. So I appreciate the people who are watching. But let me get back to my story is that for this particular person, she's a super go-getter. And again, she's got a super bright future in the space. She's reaching out. She's really doing it the right way. She's making connections, and then she is trying to provide value through her content. So let's get back to our friend, Catherine. Catherine, you can still join us if you're out there, if you're able. I mean, I know you're super busy and you're super famous, but you're able to join us. For Catherine, she has begun to use LinkedIn. I completely encourage you to listen to her show. I listened to it on a bus headed to Mexico City a couple of weeks ago, and I was kind of inspired by it. And so if you're saying, great, I want to be Catherine, you want to run the bases at Nats Park, one thing you can do is you could reach out to us and get the LinkedIn starter guide. And let me get the URL for that. Ken has put together a phenomenal starter guide. He even gave you, in my opinion, a little too much, but that's cool. It's joshchernikoff.com/go-free. Got joshchernikoff.com/go-free. And this is the LinkedIn tips and tricks blueprint. And if you go there and you fill it out, and we've had a bunch of people do that in the last week or two, you will get, I think it is a total of 4 LinkedIn PDFs dedicated to LinkedIn. Tips for lead gen, huge. LinkedIn tips, polls, and posts. LinkedIn tips for webinars and events, and LinkedIn tips for your service page. So let me give you a taste of one of them. This one is the 8 powerful tips for getting more sales with LinkedIn. And I'm not going to give you all 8. I'm going to pick one. I will pick engage with others. That's number 4. Like, comment on, and share posts from your network. Engage in conversations and provide valuable insights to increase visibility. Yeah, that seems pretty obvious, but people don't do it. And when you do that, you are lifting other people and their programs up. And so taking the time every single day to comment. Michael Bates, who I think is listening, Michael's always got great content. Love commenting and being engaged in conversations with him in person, online, and on LinkedIn. So just take the time to post. Here's one last tip. We're going to end this thing pretty soon. Here's one last tip. This is a fun one that Ken and I learned from our coach, Tony. Go find your main competitors and whoever's posting on their behalf, comment in their section. And the reason you should do that is because your ideal client is most likely hanging out where your competitors are. And it feels good to lift people up in their posts. And then those people start to notice you. So there's a fun tip there. Ken, we've got about 3 minutes left here. And I actually have a hard stop because I'm meeting with a potential new client, really great guy, except for the fact that he's a Philadelphia Eagles fan who's in Atlanta, runs an awesome tutoring company that I got connected to. So he and I are going to meet in 3 minutes. But I think that we've done it again. 30 minutes flew by pretty fast. We tested, so thank you. Hopefully, third time's the charm. Third time's the charm in terms of tools we'll use. We use Mighty Networks, nothing against them. We use Restream, nothing against them. But Riverside, since we record our shows and now does lives, we should use this. The one downside, which is probably a good thing, is that Riverside doesn't necessarily have music for me to play and screw around with. But that's probably good at the beginning. Maybe we'll get a little more advanced. But thank you to Ken for testing this and getting us set up. I think what we have learned here is that we should look ahead, which we can, to our next LinkedIn Live. And we're live everywhere else. And the topic's going to be my story of Flex Academy. So I think we kind of consider bringing in two people. True. Okay. Ken's talking to me here as my producer. I like that. So for now, we're going to sign off, and I hope that this was helpful. We will have guests next time, and these LinkedIn Lives are designed to really strengthen our community, which is growing and growing. Ken and I will be rolling out with our team our public community on Monday. And we'll start sending out invites. We're just going to try and, kind of get our momentum there. So when it comes to this business and the education space, I don't know about you guys out there, Michael Bates, Michael Cho, Connor. To me, summer's over. The school year started, back in business. So here we are. So thank you, everybody who joined. This was a ton of fun. And thank you, Ken, for setting this up. Thank you, Catherine, for being an absolute rock star. And everybody should listen to Catherine's story on Breaking the Grade, which is on Apple and Spotify and all those other wonderful places. She's super inspirational and she's killing it. So again, thank you, everybody. 28 minutes and 30 seconds, and we are out of here. Go break stuff.